like, I don't recommend trying this, but like, there's like a way where it's like, you could turn the invincibility off, but then when your life gets down to like 20 or something, really low, click invincibility on, it'll give you your health back, but then click invincibility off. It's like a way to refill your health, kind of. At first, I was doing it like that. That way, it's like I wasn't, you know, that way I could still be killed almost.
Yeah.
But after a while, I just left it on.
Yeah, well, I've been killed one too many times on these type of games, so I think during this level, especially on normal mode, when just be. And I know how much of a big of a punching bag, and especially then it gets to the point where it starts to get irritating. Oh, darn, if you know what I mean.
Because on hard mode, I felt like this game, and this is just my opinion, I felt like the game was undoable on hard without the invincibility or whatever.
Yeah. Well, this is Exterminator, so it's on the highest hard, like very hard, or expert difficulty. At least having these cheats on gives me a break.
I already got the Avatar movie that just came out. They got the recap on YouTube, half hour long.
That's the Dotang.
I don't know what it is. They made a movie about that bald-headed guy from that cartoon.
Yeah, that's Aang. He's pretty much an adult now.
Yeah, it's a cartoon movie that came out. They basically show you the whole movie in a half hour.
Yep. It's pretty much the end of the story.
Like if a person goes to YouTube and they just type the word recap twice and just scroll up and down on the videos after typing the word recap twice, like all the new movies in theater are there a half hour each. Most of the movies suck anyway, so the half hour version's the best, you know. I guess for 10 or 15 minutes at the beginning of this movie, they're all flying on birds over a cliff. All it said was they flew on top of birds over a cliff, and then move on to what the people care about. I don't know how long the movie is, but the movie don't really begin to add to the Avatar wakes up from his nightmare. So that whole dream sequence or whatever the hell it was, or whatever happened in 1 minute on the recap. We don't need to worry about dream sequences taking up 15 minutes of the movie.
Hey, I gotta stand that. Like there's some stuff like that, but you don't need to talk about the introduction or whatnot on character or some situation or whatever. or explain
I don't know
possible
anything
book
about
from.
the Avatar. I don't know nothing about it. I never liked it.
Well, I watched it
Really
from.
don't know shit about it.
I know. I know it's from start to finish. Basically, yeah, that bald-headed Hung dude kid Aang. Well, he's pretty much an avatar. He was, or basically one of those people who defends and say the world. Oh, basically is airbending. Basically, the Fire Nation decides to invade the country. Zuko was basically before it became an ally. It was a fallen prince out for redemption, and then was busy hunting the Avatar. But basically, they go through many books. Like book one's water, so basically they headed to the they to stay up to the far north, but pretty much is an adventure. But not a lot of people know all the water base just because the Fire Nation stole all that information.
I couldn't get into it for some reason. Every time I tried to watch it, it kept showing a little girl and a laughing bald-headed little boy with a pet flying dog or something.
I mean,
So I never could get into
flying
it.
bison.
Yeah, so I always watched anime that had like tons of cool action in it and no children running around, you know. That's why I thought maybe I'd be more into the adult one, but I don't know who the hell any of the people are anyway. I never followed it from when he was a kid, so I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Well, I can tell you that Aang, who's the Avatar, who's also the last Airbender, which he has to probably have to
I
be.
understand that. I'm smart enough to deduce that.
Now, Katara is the waterbender. Well, let's say she has a conflict.
What I'm trying to say is I was into anime that was like Baki. You know, go to your phone and type Baki full story and click on any video. And that's what I'm into, stuff like that. So that's way different from the Avatar. Type Dragon Ball Super full story and then like click on any one of the videos. Like I'm into that. Type in like Naruto best battles and just look at the best battles. Like I'm into that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'm into whatever this Avatar shit is.
Well,
I guess the little girl grew up too.
Yeah, of course. She grew up.
The water girl.
Yeah, it's pretty much a teenager. Aang's pretty much basically an adult in a kid's body. He's about 400 years old because she 40 years ago because he froze himself in ice and the rest of his clan pretty much was annihilated by the Fire Nation. But then there's Zuko, meaning her brother, the Katara's brother. Alright, which, he's a warrior. He's not an airbender or the waterbender. He's just a straight out swordsman, martial artist. This until it pretty much ends in book. That's pretty much all the cast from book one. Of course, there's Uncle Iroh, who's part of the book, who shows us in the story. Of course. Then we move to book two. Then we introduced Toph, a blind girl who is basically made her character and her earthbending style is from a martial art they used from real life.
Yeah, so literally they spent from 505 to 628 and explained the entire Avatar story. And it took them like a minute and a half. They said the fire dude trained him, the water girl trained him, the fucking blind girl trained him, he was frozen in the ice. It literally took them like 2.5 minutes to you know. That's why these recaps are better than the actual show some of the time.
Yep. Yeah, well, they do this because those who are getting into it can understand it. Zuko trained him in the final.
Like, do you know Hakusho is?
Yep.
Hakusho.
Yeah, it's my long-time favorite.
All right, well, when the first episode of Avatar was being aired live on Nickelodeon with a square TV, I was busy watching a marathon of Yu Yu Hakusho, then staying up all night watching Gundam. You get what I mean? So I swept them under the rug. You know what I mean? I'm not watching. I would never watch no Avatar shit I'm busy watching Baki. Or like some shit where it's like the robots were blowing shit up or something. I never really could get into it. I'm just watching a recap of that one movie. That must be one of the bosses.
Yeah, that the Lord of Carnage. Hang on. Maybe that's how I defeated him last time.
It said aspiring champion. He's trying to be a champion. You seen what happened to him.
It's one of those characters, trust me. I have one in part of my, used to have a part of my 40-day Chaos Army until they got rid of them, moved them to the Legends. So basically, Zuko doesn't become an ally until the last book. Look, pretty much at the end of the second book, he actually ends up being severely wounded and killed, type of thing. Eventually,
Look up the name of a magic card called Nameless Race. Came out in the year 1994. Got a picture of the guy from Avatar on it. 27 years before the show came out.
yeah.
Whoever Zuko is, he was on a magic card in the year 1994. It was called Nameless Race. Look up the images. It's very, very strange.
Yep. I think I found the level you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess maybe whoever created that character happened to look at that card when they drew him, or maybe it's some kind of coincidence. But the character Zuko from that Avatar show, he's on a 1994 Magic the Gathering card called Nameless Race from like 30 years before the show ever came out.
Well, they had to look at something. It happens. It's like gaming addict, basically how they match with the
whatever the card is, it's from one of the first sets, like Antiquities or Legends or The Dark. Whatever it is, it's a terrible card. It doesn't really do anything. Like, it's like a terrible creature that you're never going to want to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look at the artwork, you'd be like, hey man, what's the date on that card? 1994. Hey, that picture of the guy on the card looks awful familiar. And then you go look at the Avatar set, and you say, hey, that dude from that 1994 card, there's a bunch of that guy on a bunch of cards in 2026, but it's all a coincidence. whoever that was, I had to get rid of them. They friended me, but don't interact. They've been friends with me for 9 days, but never interacted, never responded to a game invite, never invited me to anything. I added them to I added them to 3 places to see how they would react. Like they didn't even know they were there. So yeah, forget about them. This weapon, I used it on Space Marine too.
The Neovolcate? Yeah, this is the rifle.
Something like that.
This
it
is the rifle.
It wasn't there when the game first came out.
Nah, well, it took them a while.
This might be that level. I don't beat the level yet. One of the levels that looked like this was where I was getting where you teleport. You gotta
this
jump
is
off
the level,
a ledge
right? I remember correctly. I think this is one. This is the one of them.
And the guide could be misleading, like the trail.
Yeah, that's the best for you. Yep.
Vendors and non-vendors alike, and where everyone works, coming right in the middle of
Again.
I think that Krillin from Dragon Ball Z could beat the Airbender.
Yeah, you can.
Krillin can move at super speed. He could do the after image technique and then chop him on his neck. He'll pass out.
Yeah.
found another airbender, some old man. He must be the bad guy, so he has to fight another airbender or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, in the first book, he finds out that all the airbenders were all, I don't know, say, exterminated by the previous Fire Lord. Not Zuko's father, but another one. Basically, his grandfather.
Now they got another guy. The new bad guy is the airbender.
Yep. Yeah, now we got Chaos Silver to fight.
Are they talking about how to paint the miniatures? I can deduce what that is. They're talking about the miniatures.
Yep. Yeah, they're talking about the Baneblade. It went off sale, say, last week. Alright, so I think this box is getting reboxed, or they're making it flexible again.
Investigate those data. In commanders have detected information on the power source. Seems a foul heretic that still wants them ahead of us. These files have their clumsy marks all over them. The fragments inside some kind of bot. You'll have to move quickly if you're to get there before that infernal sorcerer.
Yeah, yeah, when I was playing Space Marine 2, I had that playing in the background and a number of other games. Let's say like Tetris of Valak. So pretty much they're done with that. Whew. I give you a minute. Yeah, I just uploading part one of a two-part video today.
I got Tuesday off, so I'm going to try to be on all day Tuesday, even if I'm just watching movies or television.
Yep.
I watch a lot of Pluto TV.
Well, my next day off is not until Wednesday. I spent all day yesterday. Hey, well, grinding on that worship game of mine. Come on. Hopefully I can beat the final boss of the game, then go back and do the say DLC.
If there's somebody sharing the screen in the party and somebody live streaming to YouTube in the party, you could watch two screens at once. Because you could put the YouTube in a little box in the corner and the other thing on the big. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
You could watch two things though. So if you were on YouTube and he was sharing the screen, I could watch you both.
yeah, it's possible.
But it's no big deal. It's something I discovered by having a bunch of people in the party before. But then, like when you pin somebody's live stream, like in the corner, when they're done live streaming, the live stream will continue to play on repeat. So he had ended the live stream, and I'm like, wait a second, I saw this part before. It'll just play on an endless loop until you close it.
Yeah.
As soon as I finish my cigarette, I gotta go boom.
Hey, go
Down
ahead.
the road, I'll be gone from now. I'll let you know when I'm leaving. I'm gonna disappear in about 10 minutes for about 15 minutes.
That's alright. I'm going to tell him where I'm pretty much worn at this point. Alright. Spend the majority of the day after playing from phone, say, you know how email tag works, reporting a problem, then have a bug and trying to get it fixed. As for the developer, I pretty much did that majority of the morning. And still haven't fully recovered from yesterday's marathon.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Found this funny Magic the Gathering thing on Facebook, but I can only take a screenshot of it. If you try to send somebody a link to Facebook on the PlayStation, it says not compatible when they try to click on it. If you ever go on Facebook, I'll type in my Facebook name if you ever find me on there. My image got a purple light. Like I'm hiding behind a purple light. Right on. Well, even if you don't get friend requests, you could still look at me. Then I could have sent you that link on Messenger or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. But you can't send a link to Messenger. I have done it.
They showed the Mandalorian because he wiped the board on them while they were playing Madonna in the background. It was funny. Getting ready to head out. I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to put on skilled screen on. If you're not here when I get back, just message me anytime.
I'm gonna go and hit the sack.
Or tomorrow, if you message fucking Facebook or something, I'll send you the link to that funny video or something.
Sure.